You have been lied to about trauma. You've been told it is a memory, a psychological ghost haunting your mind, something you need to talk your way out of. But this is a fundamental misunderstanding of your biology. Trauma is not in your head. It is in your electric suit. There is a mechanism within you, a biological kill switch for stress, that modern society has conditioned you to suppress. Animals use it every day to survive death. Ancient Qigong masters used it to cultivate immortality. It is the bioelectric shake. Today, on the Codex of Reality, we are going to decode the physics of your fascia. We will explore the piezoelectric effect, the muscle of the soul, and the exact protocol you can use to physically discharge years of stored trauma in a matter of minutes. Welcome to the code of your own reality. The biological fear and the PSOAS. To understand the solution, we must first understand the storage facility. Deep within your core, burying itself from the lumbar spine through the pelvis and into the femur, lies the PSOAS major. In Taoist traditions, this is known as the muscle of the soul. In modern biomechanics, it is the primary hip flexor. But in the context of survival, it is the guardian of the freeze response. When your brain perceives a threat, whether it's a tiger in the grass or an aggressive email from your boss, your reptilian brain sends a signal to the PSOAS to contract. It pulls you into a fetal ball to protect your soft underbelly and vital organs. This is the start of the fight or flight response. Here is the problem. In the wild, once the threat passes, the animal shakes. It discharges that massive kinetic energy charge. But you sit in traffic. You sit in a meeting. You repress. You hold still. You have been socially conditioned to keep it together. Because that energy is not discharged, the PSOAS remains tight. It stays contracted. Over years, this chronic tension signals to your brain that you are still in danger. It creates a feedback loop of anxiety. The trauma is literally trapped in the tissue. But the PSOAS is just the container. The mechanism that locks it in place, and the key to releasing it, lies in the material that wraps every inch of your body, the fascia. The electric suit and piezoelectricity. For decades, anatomy books erased fascia, treating it as useless packing material. We now know it is a continuous, liquid crystalline matrix that connects your toes to your tongue. It is a sensory organ, richer in nerve endings than your skin. And it possesses a property that is the secret to the bioelectric shake: piezoelectricity. Piezo comes from the Greek word for pressure. Certain materials, like quartz crystals, bone, and collagen fibers in your fascia, generate an electrical charge when mechanical pressure is applied to them. This is how a gas grill lighter works. You click it, a hammer hits a crystal, and a spark is created. Your body is a bioelectric battery. When you move, you generate voltage. When you are traumatized, the fascia becomes rigid. It dehydrates. It turns from a fluid gel into a stiff solid. This freezes the energetic charge of the trauma into the physical structure of your body. You are literally carrying the voltage of past events, frozen in your connective tissue. To release this, we cannot just stretch. Stretching pulls on the fibers, but it doesn't necessarily change the state of the matrix. We need to generate a specific frequency of vibration, a seismic wave through the body, to melt this ice. We need to utilize the piezoelectric effect to generate enough voltage to rewrite the signal. We need to shake. The animal code and neurogenic tremors. Let's look at the trauma switch in action. A polar bear is chased by a threat. It enters a high adrenaline state. If it gets cornered, it might play dead, the freeze response. Once the threat leaves, the bear doesn't just get up and walk away. It convulses. It shakes violently for several minutes. This is called a neurogenic tremor. It is the nervous system's way of completing the stress cycle. It is discharging the massive amount of adrenaline and cortisol that was pumped into the system. Once the shaking stops, the bear takes a deep breath, and the trauma is gone. It does not get PTSD. It returns to homeostasis. Humans are the only animals that suppress this mechanism. We interpret shaking as weakness, illness, or loss of control. We medicate it. We fear it. By suppressing the tremor, we trap the cycle in the on position. The ancients understood this. In Qigong, there is a practice specifically designed to induce this state. They didn't call it neurogenic tremors. They called it clearing turbidity, or shaking the heavenly pillar. They understood that to clear the spirit, you must vibrate the vessel. They knew that by voluntarily inducing the shake, we can access the involuntary release. We can manually flip the trauma switch. The protocol, the bioelectric shake. Now, we will enter the protocol. This is how you perform the bioelectric shake to utilize the piezoelectric effect for trauma release. You can do this in the morning to wake up the system, or at night to discharge the day's stress. Phase 1, the pump. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart. Unlock your knees. This is crucial. If your legs are straight, the current cannot flow. Connect your feet to the earth. Now, begin to bounce gently from your knees. Do not use your calves to jump. Simply drop your weight and catch it. Create a rhythm. Thump, thump, thump. You want a mechanical impact. This impact sends a piezoelectric wave up through the skeletal structure and into the fascia. Keep your shoulders completely loose. Let your arms hang like wet ropes. Phase 2, the chaos. As you bounce, begin to let go of the structure. Shake your wrists, shake your elbows. Most importantly, unlock your jaw. The jaw and the pelvis are neurologically connected. If your jaw is tight, your PSOAS is tight. Open your mouth. Exhale with sound. A long, audible ha. Phase 3, the discharge. Now, increase the intensity. Imagine you are trying to shake sticky mud off your hands and feet. Visualize the gray, stagnant energy of stress dislodging from your organs. You are turning the solid ice of your fascia back into liquid. You are generating voltage. Do this for at least 3 to 5 minutes. If you feel heat, that is the piezoelectric charge building. If you feel emotion rising, anger, sadness, laughter, let it happen. That is the energy leaving the tissue. Phase 4, the rebound. This is the most important part. Stop. Stop completely. Stand perfectly still. Close your eyes. Feel the buzzing. That tingling sensation running down your arms and legs, that is qi. That is electricity. That is the piezoelectric current you just generated flowing through the now hydrated conductive pathways of your fascia. In this moment of stillness, your nervous system is recalibrating. You are teaching your body that it is safe to let go. You are moving from sympathetic dominance, fight or flight, into parasympathetic dominance, rest and digest. This is where the healing happens. The new reality. You do not need to carry the weight of the past in your posture. The body is designed to heal, but it requires the physics of movement to do so. Shake the vessel. Generate the light. Release the old code. If you want to go deeper into the programming of your biocircuitry, subscribe to the Codex of Reality. We are just scratching the surface of what you are capable of. Shake off the illusion. Welcome to the real world.